that at some point, the medevacs are about to pass the point of no return, where the only correct choice would be to go forward. Yeah, well, we've passed it now. At the same time, Cure is going to be forced to go forward as well, as there's no going back with this army. It'll take far too long. So buckle up. The double drop into the main. Cure has a better army at the front of Spirit's base, though it's taking a lot longer to get the damage done. Spirit doesn't even have stim. These are unstimmed Marines. Now the interference matrices to disable what he can. Cyclone zoning out for a bit. Still 2 tanks. Stim finally finishes up. Orbital command at half HP here. Back and forth, Cyclone void pulled, turrets on the ground, interference matrix on the backline tank, 16, 18 SCVs down. The tank actually comes out of the matrix and unloads a bit. It looks like the main base died for Cure. The engineering bays will be denied. Those important upgrades will not be happening. The tank's still going to work. Meanwhile, another orbital command kind of hung out to dry here. A tank on the high ground. I don't think Spirit saw that, and his Marines gonna get obliterated in a single hit. Cure still maintains a supply advantage. Spirit is back to 1 base, as is Cure, who's now flying his 3rd command center to take the place of his main. Spirit is using his command center for vision alongside these Vikings. So it appears it's gonna even out a bit. Overall, I think Cure getting the better end of this exchange, as he maintains a better economy and a better position. But it definitely went sideways there. Oh no, the Vikings. Well, he's just gonna go for it. Interference matrix. Liberator wants to smash these tanks before the reinforcements can arrive. Moves his own tanks up. The Viking count is in favor of Cure. 5-2, though some of them badly bruised already, and the Marines can help out as well. Takes down 2 for 2. The best trade he could hope for. Liberator being sent out. 4 more SCVs went down with that attack. Cure thinking about another contain, and he technically has air control here, though it's tenuous. Marine blasted. There's 1 HP Viking. More Vikings coming up. He's gonna go... Oh, there's a 3rd command center. I think it's been here the whole time. I'm not sure, though. The Liberator. All the way to the main base. I think Cure should be able to deal with it quickly. Oh, no. The Vikings are coming out. He's gonna lose a few SCVs. Shouldn't be too bad here. Meanwhile, the tanks siege up in range, using that extra vision from the Vikings. Viking comes out. I mean, it looks like the Liberator might be able to get... Can it get it? It's faster than Vikings. Meanwhile, tanks for both sides. Oh, no. Okay. The supplies have gotten closer than expected. The tanks kind of re-siege, but in the same spot. The repair, he didn't continue repairing. What is the... When do you go as Spirit? He lost his upgrades. Cure doesn't have stim. He has 2 NG bays, but he never got anything off them, as double drop in the main threatens those exact 2 NG bays. SCV rallied in. There's he has enough energy for an interference matrix. The medevac gonna pick up some of the Marines, but they'll expect some of us in the wreckage, brothers, as there are not enough medevacs left for everyone. Meanwhile, Spirit has set up a potential surround here. The tanks will unsiege. Cure should see this coming. Here comes the Raven. Doesn't have enough energy for 2 interference matrices. If he can wait like 15 more seconds, he's gonna have the energy, but he's gonna go. Scrambles 1, drops an auto turret, draws some shots, and the siege tanks are being overrun. In fact, he's trying to get the Vikings as well. Gonna intercept some of the... Well, I don't know if intercept is the right word. It looks like he lost the medevac. The Vikings will get away, and Spirit takes the supply lead as Cure once again... Well, it's time for you to leave, Mr. Cure, but if you're not gonna go, we're gonna shove you out the door. And, well, here we are. as Spirit somehow manages to thread the needle into a supply lead. Cure not able to lay down a killing blow, and the supplies are nearly even with upgrades at almost the same time. How has it... We have reverted back. What? Is there... What? Okay, that's Cure's Liberator. It's... a slight advantage, I'd say, to Cure. I favor the Vikings over the tank lead, because without the Vikings, the tank lead is relatively meaningless. Oh god. The game could just end here, though. If he had flown over if he loses these medevacs, a scan to try to chase. I don't know, like, the tanks will siege, Cure chases, realizes, you know, maybe this won't go so well. He wanted them, though. He saw it there. That was a win if he gets those. It goes from even to just... Spirit, come on. You should have seen this one coming, bro. He drops them in the back where they're trapped behind the minerals. 1-1 is literally, like... Is that exactly the same tenth of a second? It look... I can't even... They're split. Oh my god. They're done. It wasn't exactly the same, but it was whatever it took to hit both buttons. How did that happen? That's madness. After all this, after the cancels and the denies, 1-1 finishes at exactly the same time. Well, pretty evenly matched, I'd say. Spirit really keeps trying to... Spirit keeps getting forced into these backstabs when he clearly wants to play the more, like, unit composition-oriented game. But Cure, who keeps trying to get aggressive, ends up being the one who has the main army composition and gets backstabbed. It's a bit of role reversal from what they're clearly comfortable playing, which I think is contributing to the roller coaster aspect of this series. Well, fourth base. I did not see this game getting, honestly, at about the 5-minute mark. It looked like it might end, but here we are, 14 minutes in, and so close to even that it's not worth bothering to try to figure it out. The only thing left between them is the memory of what has happened so far, which can sometimes contribute to the playstyle, or making mistakes just based on the past aggression. But you hand either player this army, they're not going to be too unhappy at this stage of the match. The one thing is, Cure is maintaining a significant Viking lead, but Spirit does have plenty of army space. He's got a few more Marines. 13 Vikings to 5. And now he's added a Liberator in, and a couple more starports here. Getting another Armory of Spirit, clearly gearing up for that transition. Though he doesn't have the addition. He's getting okay, now he's getting the starports and the fusion core. Moving his tanks over here like it's 2016 and tanks can fly while sieged. Ah, yes. It was the blurst of times. It was the blurst of times. Beyond still seething. Fusion cores for both sides. But clearly for advanced ballistics and not for the battle cruisers. At least not at this stage. Though who knows? This is the closest game so far. They're both adding the extra command centers as maxing out very soon. Spirit still has a couple tanks in a medevac. I'm not even sure if that's intentional. When the command centers start to be the most numerous in the production tab of anything, that's when you know we've reached the late game. Okay? 3 command centers and 4 command centers in production for Cure, who is maxed out. Oh my, siege tank Viking indeed. 19 Vikings, 11 siege tanks. Wow, that is a Scandinavia Vikings, but the tanks were a little late on sieging. Those Vikings might just need to hit the deck. The Marines underneath, overrunning the ground, and the Vikings are left hung out to dry. At the same time, though, a massive drop, a double drop from Cure. Not that massive, medium-sized, fun-sized from Cure. The Marines kill some tanks, but Cure, just like that, he relied on his unit composition, but it failed him. He did not have the units on the ground. The tanks weren't sieged quick enough. And he loses so much. He lost 11 tanks and all the Vikings. 19 Vikings. What a disaster for Cure. Oh, he let him, like, Spirit sat back and let Cure make the mistake. And once again, he did. He went to the wrong spot, stayed a little too long, and Cure murdered him for it. No, wait, Spirit murdered him. All Terrans look alike to me. That Raven still exists. The drop, he just picked up whatever he had in the area. +1 ship weapons completes at exactly the same time. 3-3 is going to be close, but not exactly. Cure, though, he has how many command centers? Did he cancel some of those command centers when he lost the fight? I think so. He's got 4 orbitals, 2 planetaries, 1 wait, is it swimming? Oh my god, the Moopy out there. I never saw that one before. Just hanging out next to the abyss, which has sharks, which are almost as dangerous as Cure is to his own unit's life expectancy. As so far, he really has struggled to lay down the killing blow. He's lost almost double the Vespene gas, which is impressive in a mirror matchup, especially since we haven't had that much. Like, that was the only major fight this game of those size of supplies. Well, here comes Spirit. The main base! Oh, that drop was optimistic. The Liberators will handle it, but Cure out of position to deal with this attack. Vikings on deck to kill the SCVs. 20 of them obliterated. This is a weird fight. The tank. Like, bro, move. Oh my god. Gets completely lambasted there by the Liberators. But still, though, Spirit moving into position. 10 tanks. Anti-armor missile lands on the Vikings of Cure. What are those air upgrades? +1/+1 for Spirit. Just the attack upgrade right now for Cure. +2 plating about to complete as well. Down goes the planetary. Kind of a side note. Cure is on the ropes right now. And they're supporting a lot of weight, as he has really been struggling to close this game out. There was a long time we would have said, but either in unit composition or in general he had the lead, but Spirit has handled himself carefully. He's found the right fights. He's maneuvered into the right spots, and right now it's his turn to potentially throw. He's the one who is just a couple siege ups away from victory. This is the hardest part. Is making your decision of where to commit. How many Ravens? He has 11 Ravens. That's actually too many. I would argue that's too many Ravens. But we'll see, though. Anti-armor missile. He scrambles some of the air to just take it out of the fight. That's a lot of supply in Ravens. Like 4. Maybe like 6. Well, the Liberator gonna help out. 11 SCVs. Oh, here it is. Okay. The fact that I couldn't find it tells you how hectic this is right now. And I'm not the one dealing with these siege pushes. Well, the Ravens kind of wander forward. This fight is... I think Kure just has too many Vikings. Yeah, this is too many Ravens. It's too many Ravens. You need more Viking. You need to actually shoot at them. Kure's actually winning the fight with sheer numbers. 8 Ravens. No. More Vikings, please. You can, like... Just because you can stop them from shooting doesn't solve the problem of them having way more Vikings. At some point, you need to shoot back. Well, here comes Kure. What is it? He's just... Is there any army? Does Spirit has some tanks? Okay, he has some tanks. There's 1 tank at the third. A couple tanks in the main could participate in this fight. Here's the real action, though. This battle. The Vikings, the Liberators are siege. There's not really that many Vikings. Kure's killing a lot of the tanks, but he's going to lose... I mean, Spirit is killing a lot of the tanks, but he's going to lose air control. Entirely. What a mess. What a disaster piece this game has been. It's looking like an advanced ladder game indeed, where both players are struggling to manage their own units for long enough to lay down critical damage. And despite the supply, it looks like Kure has regained momentum, as he now has air control and has knocked out multiple bases from Spirit. Spirit looked like he would be able to just siege his way in, but Kure distracted him enough. The counterattacks, the Liberators, have kept him busy. Another planetary will die, but here comes Spirit from every angle. A handful of interference, 1 interference matrix. Vikings on deck. Clears the army. It wasn't particularly clean there, but he does get rid of it. Thing is, Kure has another army. Good to go. Neither side with a ton of income right now, and lessening by the second. Kure only has 1 really comfortable mining base. Spirit is going to be down to... He still has 2 if he can defend that top right. Liberator sieges up. Both sides down to 50 workers. What is the army composition? 18 siege tanks for Spirit. 18! Against just 6, but once again, without air control, those siege tanks are sometimes just a liability. Especially when it comes to a maxed out supply. If they have twice as many Vikings and a few Liberators, those siege tanks don't do much for you. That refinery drawing the attention. Well, there's nothing here to really defend against the double drop. A Taster's Own Medicine at the same time. Spirit drags his entire army back. Well, besides a handful of Vikings and Ravens. Fair enough. In fact, supply blocked is Spirit. He's lost so many command centers, he's supply blocked. Little did we know how much of his supply was tied up in command centers. Well, here we are. Kure, by your normal mathematical metrics, what was that? What was it? What just was that a Liberator? Maybe. On paper, Kure is losing, but it truly does feel like he's winning. And feelings do have some effect when it contributes to the decisions made with your entire army. Oh my god, don't fly your tanks into Vikings in metamix. Okay. Spirit is maxed out. That is so many siege tanks. But can he use them? That's the question. Can he actually bring those siege tanks to bear in an effective way? That is just, it's too many, like, that's so many tanks. Oh my, anti-armor missile. It's 2-2 versus just +2 ship weapons. Though I'm not sure how much that affects the Viking wars. They all do a lot of damage per attack. A Viking on the ground. Here comes Kure again, going right up the gut. There are not enough Marines, really, from Spirit to defend. He needs tanks. He brought the tanks from the main. There's a drop at the back. Here they keep going. It doesn't stop. Spirit still has 190 supply and nowhere to go. He's coming back to defend. He scrambles a tank, scrambles a second, holding the high ground. But Cure is gunning down everything. The supplies are evening up very quickly. Those tanks are coming out of an interference matrix. Meanwhile, though, Cure is losing the orbital command, one of the only mining bases. He's getting cleaned up. Spirit has lost most of his supply lead here. There's just one tank left, but that one tank is doing a lot of damage. Oh my, the Marine's getting involved. Kira's gonna try to pick up and get out momentarily. He's kind of bungling it a bit, but it looks like just barely. And then he joins up with the rest of these. Gonna drop on the tanks. How convenient. Spirit out of position to deal with this. The Liberator siege up helped take out the tanks. This orbital is gonna go down. Spirit looks like he's just gonna base trade. Because of course he is. Now, finally, Cure's supply is kind of looking accurate to how the game feels. As Spirit has been sitting here with probably 10 too many tanks and 10 less Vikings than he's needed. The unit composition just kind of shifted, but he gets up in here. He's already taken advantage of Cure's huge Viking count before. Will this be the time he breaks him? The Liberators, though, the Marines can't really move in because of the siege tanks. So the Liberators drive the tanks away, but they'll keep sieging up. Spirit is back to a supply lead for now. Another tank backs off, but the Liberator finishes it off. Tanks moving forward. The Liberators are everything here. More units coming up. He's just building Ravens. He has plenty of gas and not plenty of minerals. Cure's only mining Cure's down to 33 SCVs against 38. Oh my god. The supplies are dead even. It's a disaster. It's amazing. It's incredible. It's StarCraft 2. The center of the map, Cure, gonna look for a fight. He has a better army now, but he has to set it up. Whereas Spirit has a much better opportunity if he catches Cure on the field. As those Vikings do not help on the ground unless they choose to. And that has to be planned for. It's just Raven Marine tank against tank Viking Liberator as they went through the pick ban phase. I don't know how it came to this. Interference matrix on one. Vikings sniping off, but the orbital dies. He loses one of his very valuable bases. Somehow, at some point, it looked like there were double-digit command centers. Now we're down, approaching none. That the Ravens are being chased to the ends of the earth because the Marines can't save them. They're on the wrong side of the liberation zones. But the SCVs are also stuck with the Marines in an awkward exchange. The Liberators gunning down anything that gets into range. There's nothing left to deal with this directly, but Spirit is still mining. Cure, barely. And one Liberator somehow gets through to deal with. Cure is now at less SCVs than he started this game with. One more tank down, 9. He's down to 9 SCVs. How has this happened? But that means it's near pure army supply now. He's at 93 army supply and 9 SCVs. And what is this? There's long distance mining. Well, Spirit looking to try it for himself here, clearly, as the SCVs are pulled against 3-3 Marines. And I guess we're base trading again. There's not that many bases left to trade. Spirit looks to come back. The scan will spot the army at the last second. The tanks will siege. He's a little late. The scrambles are there, but are they there enough? No. And just like that, Cure finds the fight. And I think the game. And it just ends. GG's, Spirit. After 30 minutes and 33 seconds of the most topsy-turvy Terran disaster, we're all tied up. Okay, well. So, game 5. Game 5. Spirit, it kind of felt like he lost confidence after a while. He was playing so well, and then Cure managed to hold on. And then Cure, it truly felt like, was comfortable in his position. So, we'll see if Spirit can turn it around. As Cure, I think, now has the momentum. It was 2 for Spirit, now 2 for Cure. As we go into Grezvin. Oh, God. Oh, my. Okay, this is the TVT, the extended edition. Which is just TVT usually, but... Grezvin, our macro map, known for its 30-plus minute games now. The most popular map of IEM Katowice. A.k.a. the most inoffensive to the most matchups. No one too unhappy with it. It also has resulted in our most dramatic games. Okay, like and subscribe if we got this far. Oh my God. What a brawl. It is very easy to get caught up in it, as both players clearly did. Like, it's, from the observer perspective, it was already difficult to tell what was going on. And even then, like, you can say, Spirit, you have too many tanks. But at no point, it takes a lot to say, I need to stop building tanks in TVT. Like, that's not really a thing you do, so. But it just kind of worked out. He ended up having too much supply in siege tanks, not enough in anti-air, and eventually Cure was able to exploit that. Yes, it took a while. It took a while. And there were many moments where it could have gone the other way, but... Well... This game needs to end in, like, 4 minutes in order to balance that out. I think. Just a nice, good old-fashioned one-base, like, Reaper push. Nope. Command center added on for both sides. On the low ground, the standard 2-gas expand, just enough tech to deal with, to get your Reaper Hellion, and then focus on economy. Spirit did get the reactor, so he's going to have a slight advantage there. He's going to get away with it. The weakness of the reactor is if they either proxied or they do any sort of aggression before it finishes. It's something you're going to get anyway, so the quicker you can invest in it, the quicker it pays off. There's going to be a Widow Mine from both sides. So, you know what? I take it back. I thought I was clever with the whole ramp idea. I guess we're just building Widow Mines here. But they also both know it's not early aggression, so... What am I gonna chill at the front? It's one of those things, like, both players will spot it if they come up to that location. It's a force field. It's a force field or punishing someone without eyes. So, either way. Terran force fields are so good, they murder things, of course. Like the Protoss. Look on dejectedly. I think neither player super hyped about committing to an early all-in after that game. I don't know if there was like a break or something for the players, or if they jumped right into it, but either way, by far most passive early game. As clearly, not gonna risk it. Don't want to get into that brawl again, at least not so early. Third command center. Cure, I thought he might move out to attack. No, he's just defending his command center at his third. Looks like Spirit may do the same thing momentarily. Yep. Finally, a mirror matchup. Now this is more like the TVT we're used to seeing. At least, I guess with the Raven changes and just the meta in general, there is a lot of that back and forth, but still plenty of sit back and build up. Oh, the Widowmine hit. What did it kill? A Reaper? Not bad. Spirit poking and prodding. Oh, gets the double lock. But lean. Oh, he gets it. But does he get out? No. Moral victory. Medevac loads up. Oh, God. And so it begins. Well, you're actually killing the second Cyclone as well as the rest of the Reaper Hellion. A scan. Spirit says, no, I'm going bio. Look. Slaps down 2 barracks. This base can fit so many barracks in it. A single drop, 8 Marines. Reaper Hellion getting a weird amount of damage here because everything moved out. All right. 8 Marines in the back. Gonna draw some of the army out of position, so that way Spirit, well, that's 4 tanks. He's still aware. There's actually not enough Marines from Cure here. He needs more units. This is super and meanwhile, the Reapers. Does he see the tank? Oh God. He could have gotten into the medevac too. It's so sad. For some reason, a Marine just died to SCVs, like Cure's Marine and Spirit's Natural. I don't know how that happened, but those SCVs are now consoling each other after their brutal murder. Or partying, I'm not sure which one it is. Anyways, Vikings tried to kill the Raven. The scan, but he's not going to be able to get into range. Okay. He's got enough energy to scramble all 4. But can he follow it up? Spirit. They're dead even on supply. Worker count. Almost identical. Spirit not going to risk it. There are still 2 Ravens for Cure, which could counteract it quite well as well. What is the Viking count? 7-0. Quite a lead. Spirit has. Of course, that means less medevacs. Sensor tower up for either side. Gives them a little bit of warning on when they need this scan. Liberator headed out. The Liberators have been the real MVPs for both sides of keeping your opponent distracted. And maybe killing some SCVs. Production tab, as usual. Making me question why it's open in TVT. As we see a whole lot of the same stuff, and it takes up a bunch of the screen. +1/+1, slight advantage for Cure. Well, in fact, a significant advantage in that the armor isn't going to be done particularly quick. A Liberator into the main as well. Not going to be committed. Oh, what's happening here? What am I watching? Okay, so the Marine stimmed to target Viking. Viking land. Marine run away. Viking fly away. Depot complete. All right, we're all caught up. And Depot die. Vengeance. Oh my God, what's going on here? Come back here. Oh, wait. What a play. They're right there. Get them. Oh, Liberator at the back of the Natural. Meanwhile, here we go again. Okay, so Liberator finding he can't hit it with Marines. So can't mine from the Natural. The Ravens fly over each other. Spirit gets his tank scrambled, loads up SCVs into the command center, gets out. So Cure's army is looking better, tries to jump onto the tanks. Not gonna happen. Liberator still intact, by the way. Liberator still denying the natural. He's gonna stim Marines in, which isn't a real solution. Well, he's already out. He realized that he was stimming the Marines. And now here comes Spirit coming across the center of the map. Whereas here, the command center still has SCVs. Most of the army double drop towards the main. Here we go. Again, scrambles, anti-armor missile onto the tanks. That's a huge deal. Loses 2 medevacs full of siege tanks. Siege is up on the back line. Interference matrix. A lot of the sky units going down. My sky units, who am I? Sky unit go boom boom. Oh, stop it. Anyways, armory denied. The medevacs. Liberator though, 25 SCVs to 5. What in the dead even on supply? Kier has 20 more workers and a +2/+1 upgrade lead, but Spirit has more. Well, okay, so 6 siege tanks to 6, 6 Vikings to 0. The Vikings, the real MVPs. Venn diascan here. How many? Not that many medevacs left, so Spirit hasn't even healed up all his Marines past that last fight. I think just from the stims. Kira has random units out of the map. +2 infantry weapons finishing. Wait, Kira only has +2 armor, not weapons. Why does he have armor first? I don't. Anyways, what is happening here? Drop in the back. Marines move to intercept. Interference matrices on the tanks. Vikings gonna kill the Ravens. Marines move in. The tanks are disabled, but not for long. Vikings on deck. He's gonna kill this and easily kills the siege tanks. Spirit is actually just gonna take a straight up loss here for the most part, but gets a Marine drop into the natural where he's gonna kill some more of the SCVs. Tanks moving forward to the front. Kier still has a sizable army counterattacking. Spirit is supply blocked at 165 supply here. Enough Marines to hold the line. Marine drop. Literally, Marine, not Marines. Marine drop in the main. Planetary Fortress holds at the 4th. Liberators join. Where did the Liberators even come from? Doesn't matter now. Siege up on the tanks. Marine shut down. Kira still sitting at the 3rd. Liberators more than enough. He stamps it as soon as the tanks on siege. He may be able to get the tanks all on the line. Kira is maxed out, but Spirit gets a better position. Orbital gun down. 25 SCVs. Supply dead even yet again. Kira 60 to 60 SCVs. Kier gets pushed off that spot, and with it, while he's sharking around with his army, Spirit still has a bunch at home. Kier mining from the bottom right, but Liberator doesn't care about your silly planetary fortress. Medevac just chilling in the main. Spirit trying to move in. Kier's moved to the other side, all the way around him. Spirit just dives to the main with the medevacs. And Kier hasn't really made a decision on what he wants to do yet. He's going to have to come to a conclusion pretty fast, or his series will. Oh my, the Liberator, 32 SCVs have gone down in the last minute. 1 Liberator gets taken out, even though it's getting shelled by the siege tanks, those Marines. 3-3 is on the way for Cure, but will he have any Marine? It's 180 supply apiece. There are huge armies out here. But you're getting shaved off as well. If he loses those engineers, but he catches. Oh, we're also fighting here. The tanks will siege, +2 vehicle weapons. Orbital command is dead, but the Marines are getting chased down by Kira, who has like just this mercenary pack out in the center of the map. The engineering bays are potentially vulnerable. Viking count on the chase. Vikings dead. Meanwhile, the rest of the army finally joins up. 173 to 173 supply. Liberator sieges. Marines move. Tanks in position. Kira's gonna have to move down or move out. He has to make a decision here now. The siege. He sees the unsiege, which is very hard to say in a sentence. But Kira going to move down. The SCVs repairing. Not enough siege tanks. Liberators on the other side, both sides, looking for an opportunity. Kira can't really move forward into the siege line. The planetaries are holding on both flanks. 191. The supplies are insanely high for what this is right now. Planetary holding. Will Kira move in? He's trying to hold. The boys must be pulled, but the tanks! Oh no! Pure, this was your moment. Wait, he killed the planetary. Another base down. Another base trade. Double Liberator. One Marine. Super dead. No SCVs. I don't even think this planetary is in the right spot, but it doesn't matter now. Here comes Cure. Somehow again, here we are. Spirit barely mining from his third. Cure not mining at all. He's at 0. He's hit 0. Wait, he doesn't. He has 1 command center. Wait, what? Checkmate? Is that it? After endless rounds of chess boxing, I believe Spirit comes out with as the only one with any pieces left. Cure still has an army that can win a fight comfortably. He has 3-3 though. What? Spirit only has +2/+1, though he's getting 3-2 right now. Cure still has a few moments where his Marines are just way better. He has a 3 upgrade advantage, but only about 60 seconds with which to use it. He needs to crush an army as soon as possible. Liberator gonna see. Cure's building a command center at his third for the 2nd time this game. That's quite depressing. Liberator's heading out. +2 armor completes. The upgrades are gonna draw closer to even. Liberator denied the 3rd. Cure once again left with... Well, he's boxed in, but he still has a huge amount of army. There's almost no Marines left. Just enough to try to prevent drops here. The medevacs staring each other down. The truce. After this much war, they're both forced back into an unagreed, like, a non-aggression pact, if only because they have nothing with which to be aggressive with. Liberator, Marines running around. Cure, maybe, well, I think he's gambling that he can potentially catch mistakes like this. Not a mistake if you don't lose it. Spirit gets away. He was still boosting. Oh my god. I think... Wait, the Liberator... Oh no! He messed up the Liberator. He lost the Liberator. Cure's just trying to wait him out. He's just trying to let Spirit make a mistake. Oh my. I mean, Cure... Both sides have made mistakes. Much larger than it would take to, slip from here. So this is not an unrealistic... the patience from Cure, he could have gone. He maybe should have, but he's committed to just waiting, which it may work out. 4 Marines aren't going to stop this. They'll stop 1. He does have to pull back a few more Marines. There aren't that many SCVs to burn here. Yeah, well, he actually target fired the CC. A bit of a mistake there. To be very, very careful. Cure actually built more command centers. Oh, the Marines chasing, gunning him down as they pop out. Spirit has remaxed out. Cure still has a huge army supply. He's rebuilding SCVs, which is so sad. It's not like Spirit has a huge income. Cure's actually ahead, because I think he has any mules money. Spirit, a little bit confusingly, is going to mine out of his third, which will leave him with less income. Oh, Cure knows. But he doesn't know. He didn't spot the Ravens. The Ravens are everything! 1, 2, 3... What? What about that last one? I don't... The tank, though. He just pulls back. He realizes this is an untenable position. Gets a Raven on his way out. Still, suffers dramatic losses, but Cure is taking a planetary in the center. Because he's been mining less, leaves him with safer mining locations for longer. Which is an interesting dynamic that we've got. Here we go again. 2 brothers. Super dead. Liberators, it feels like this is not even Spirit controlling them. They're just kind of getting sent out automatically. There's still the army in the bottom left here. It's too tough of a thorn to dislodge, so Cure has just left it. This is like 50 army supply down here, just not involved in anything else. So we're still going. At the same time, he doesn't want to move. Well, now is the moment, I guess. He was waiting to try to get Cure far enough out of position to actually move. The armies are all over the map. The Marines will scout. The army supply is massive on both sides. Spirit doesn't have vehicle weapons. That means Cure siege tanks are just way better. +2 is a huge difference. If those siege tanks are meaningfully involved in the fight, that could definitely... I mean, the supplies are even again at 200, but like, somehow the game didn't end. I thought it was checkmate. Instead, it looked like a stalemate. And here we are. Still. $11 to $12 tanks. 7 Ravens, though, for Spirit. Where are they? It's about evened out. In fact, Cure is slightly more mining now. We're just rebuilding from the ashes of past civilizations. Except, it's the same civilization. It was just a near-apocalyptic event. Neither of them were mining for a time, but we're back. To 200 supply. A double drop headed for the main. History destined to repeat itself. The Vikings chase. The boost ran out before he got there. The Vikings are chasing, but he's trying to use this position. The tanks. The tanks, Cure. Cure. The tanks. The medevacs managed to get in. The Vikings may have to hit the deck. Spirit gonna try to use this spot. Cure left a bunch of tanks out to dry. And suddenly here comes Spirit. Right up the gut. The Vikings are not in position. There are no siege tanks. That advantage doesn't help if you're not shooting anything. Professional tip there. But 20 SCVs go down as Spirit drives through the center and just slices Cure in half. There's still an opportunity to collapse on this, as he is in the center of the map. That one Liberator does make a difference. The Marines are kind of spread out, chasing orbital commands and such throughout the map. The Liberator driving things back. He's losing his Ravens, and much of the energy is already gone. He has to unsiege. Cure's still going to have an opportunity here to potentially smash the army and carry that through across the map. Ship weapons here. For Spirit is done. Still a medevac. History again. Another medevac with nothing in it, just chilling in the main. Moving forward, the Marine gives enough vision. Does he have a scan, though? The orbitals are few and far between, where once they were plenty, the scan. Yep, those are tanks. Good call. Meanwhile, another Liberator sent out by, I can only assume, the medium AI, the way these are controlled. The tanks are pushing forward, and Cure has regained... Oh, it's burning the orbital! Cure! Oh, anti-armor missile, but you don't want to fight this! It's burning! The orbital! Cure! Cure, will it burn? He's in the middle of a fight. There's no way! He needs the No! Cure! Of all things to have... Wait, that was his last orbital command! He's down to one Cure. No! Oh no! Cure has no more scans, no more mules. He still has the planetary. You can't lift a planet. Oh no! How? Of course. What? That is the most Cure way to lose an orbital. Slowly, over like multiple minutes of neglect. But he still has a huge army supply, and he's bearing down on Spirit's base. Oh no. But I think if he has 2 mining locations here, he can pin Spirit down. The thing is, here's the crazy part, is Cure doesn't know. Cure doesn't know that, I mean, Spirit doesn't know the orbital died. So he has to assume it's still there. Like, he knows he didn't kill it. So Spirit may assume there's still the base. Oh my god, Cure doesn't even realize he lost it. Jesus Christ. Cure's still long distance mining. The SCVs that were popped out of the command center depressingly. Command center building the SCVs even as it burns. They pop out and say, not my job. 126 to 123 supply. the army compositions are all the difference here. 13 siege tanks to 6. And it's Cure this time who's left with the siege tanks, but no air control. Much like Spirit in the previous match, who had the siege tank count, but not enough air control to use them. Of course, Cure, honestly, I'm legitimately surprised he's still in this game. He's had the patience, the tenacity, and I'm gonna be honest, a bit of luck. Well, he's rebuilding the command center over there. Gonna pretend it didn't happen. Here comes the army. The tanks, anti-armor missile. The Ravens kicking in. Still a lot of tanks on the back line. Spirit dropping in supply. Down to 61. Cure. Is that it? He's done it! The People's Terran! He lets an orbital burn! He lets it... Oh my god. What a disaster piece. What an incredible back and forth and back again series. Cure lets his literally base burn around him, but carries it through. Either through sheer ignorance or spirit. Well, maybe both in this series. As Cure takes it 3-2. Wow. Well, I hope you enjoyed. That was certainly, I hope I made the last, not a small amount of your day a little bit better. Make sure to check out this video. And good luck, have fun. I'll see you next time. Stay chill.